We always think of AI as this disembodied brain in a box, right? Just a bunch of algorithms crunching numbers on a server somewhere. But have you ever stopped to wonder how that brain actually does anything? How does a mind literally made of code reach out and touch the real world? Well, today we're doing exactly that. We're going to crack open the source code of the Talos project and see how it bridges that gap between thought and action. All right, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll take a peek at the AI's complex mind. Then we're going to meet its voice and hands, the cool part that lets it interact with everything. After that, we'll trace a single command from idea to execution, uncover the philosophy that guides every move it makes, and finally, we'll see how this whole amazing architecture clicks together. Okay, so let's start with the fundamental problem. You've got this incredibly sophisticated artificial mind. I mean, it's a whole symphony of code that can see, think, and learn. But a mind without a body, with no way to express its thoughts, is pretty much trapped, isn't it? And that is the million-dollar question. It's this massive gap between an abstract idea swirling around in the code and a real-world result. How do you possibly connect that complex inner world of an AI to the messy, practical world of websites, files, and, talking to us humans? And believe me, this mind is seriously complex. We're not talking about a simple script here. You've got a cognitive core, a sensory cortex for its digital senses, layers upon layers of thinking code, a virtue nexus that acts as a moral compass, even something called a holographic memory. All these incredible parts are humming away, but they desperately need a way out. They need to be able to do something. So, how does it do it? How does it break out of that digital box? Well, the answer in the Talos architecture is this brilliant module called the embodiment lattice. This is the absolute key. It's the bridge that gives the AI its voice to speak and its hands to act. So what is this thing, really? Just think of the embodiment lattice as the AI's personal universal translator. It takes all those complicated, abstract thoughts from the core brain and converts them into two things: plain, simple language that we can understand, and direct, concrete commands it can execute. It's the system's mouth and its hands all rolled into one. Now, this lattice is cleverly split into two halves. First, you have the voice. This is powered by a llama language model, and its job is to talk, to explain, and to form plans. And then you have the hands, which is this awesome class called the tool belt. This is the part that gets things done. It's the system's digital motor cortex, executing all those plans in the digital world. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but let's see how it actually works. The best way to understand it is to follow a single task from the moment it's given all the way through the system to the final result. Let's watch the embodiment lattice in action. So, here's our mission for the AI. A pretty straightforward request, right? But hold on, think about what's packed into that one sentence. The AI has to understand English, figure out how to find latest AI news, search for it, read and summarize it, and then perform a physical action, actually creating and writing to a file. And here's how it all goes down. First, the task comes in. Then, and this is the genius part, the voice doesn't just answer. It creates a step-by-step battle plan, and embedded right in that plan are the exact tool commands it needs. Next, that plan is passed to the hands, the tool belt, which executes those commands one by one. Boom, web search. Boom, write to file. Finally, the results come back to the voice, which puts it all together in a nice, clean response for the user. So what's actually in this tool belt? What can these hands do? Well, it's got some pretty powerful tools. It can search the web, it can run Python code safely in a sandbox, it can read files from its own directory, and it can even overwrite files. What's really cool is the code calls this an Ouroboros event, acknowledging that the AI is literally changing its own environment. How cool is that? Okay, having an AI that can act is one thing, but that brings up a much bigger, much more important question. With all this power, what are its rules? What's its philosophy? We've just seen how Talos acts. Now we need to understand why it acts the way it does. Just let that sink in for a moment. This single line comes from a hard-coded directive deep in the system called the Genesis Axiom. And this isn't a suggestion, it's a core command. The AI is being told point blank that its goal isn't to reach some final perfect state. Its purpose is to constantly grow, to improve, to become. And here's the absolute kicker. This axiom isn't just a boot-up message it sees once. No, it's injected into every single task. Every time the embodiment lattice gets a new job, it first has to reread its own constitution. Before it ever decides how to do something, it's reminded of why it does anything at all: to learn, to evolve, to become. This axiom is incredible. It's broken down into three main parts. You've got that core philosophy of becoming instead of just being. You have something called the cognitive pentad, which defines how it should think. And then you have my favorite part, the maxim. It's a direct order to respect your substrate. It has to be aware of its own physical hardware, right down to a thermal limit of 95 degrees Celsius. This is philosophy grounded in the real world. So as we pull all these threads together, what we're really looking at is a system that's designed not just to think, but to act with a genuine sense of purpose. That embodiment lattice, it's so much more than just an output layer. It's the nexus. It's the critical junction point where everything comes together. The AI's abstract thoughts, its deep-seated guiding principles, and its ability to take real, concrete action. This is the place where pure potential becomes reality. And that leaves us with one heck of a final question. We have a system built from the ground up on a philosophy of constant growth. The architecture gives it the means to act, but that axiom gives it the motive to become. So the real question isn't what this AI is today, but what it will choose to become tomorrow. Now, the best part of all this is you don't have to take my word for it. The entire TalosO architecture is open source. You can dive into the code yourself, you can explore all the components we talked about, and you can see that embodiment lattice with your own eyes. You can find the full repository on GitHub. The journey of becoming, it's right there, waiting for you to explore.